When I tell you that I've tried a lot of side hustles, I mean a lot. In today's video, I'm gonna rank the side hustles from worst to best. So if you guys are looking to make a little extra coin, but not necessarily quit your day job, I'm gonna show you how you can get started. Some of these side hustles have earned me an extra 15,000 bucks a year. So we've got some good ones here. Let's do it. My name is Michelle Bally. If you are new here, welcome. We teach you how to start, run, and grow an online business. So make sure that you're hitting subscribe. So today we're gonna rank these side hustles by how much money you can make, how difficult they are, how much skill is required, how much time it requires from you, and how enjoyable and fun they are. Starting with side hustle number 8, starting a YouTube channel. You can make money with brand partnerships or letting YouTube ads run before your videos. I started my own personal YouTube channel with makeup reviews about a year ago, and if you're wondering how much money I've made like 35 bucks this month. Huge money. But on the flip side, some of the biggest YouTubers make millions of dollars a year. Plus, you can team up with brands that need talent, like I have done here with Shopify, and make a good living. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 for earning potential. And also, you can learn how to grow your YouTube channel from watching YouTube, and it is quite fun to see your account grow. So for difficulty, skill required, and enjoyability, I'm gonna give this a solid 8 out of 10. Now, the only thing is that time commitment is a bit of a killer. So if you're dedicated to growing your channel, almost like a full-time job in terms of hours, you're gonna have no trouble blowing up, but it's a lot of work. So for me, I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10 in terms of time commitment. Side hustle number 7, retail. Okay, so working retail made the list, but I would say it's at the bottom of my list. I feel like this side hustle though is kind of slept on because let's say you keep your day job and then you pick up shifts on the weekends. On average, you can make $31,000 a year. So for earning potential, this is pretty good. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. For how much work it requires, I would give it like a 7 out of 10 because it's social and it's pretty relaxed. And then for how much specialized skill it requires, you can learn this on the job. So I'd give this like a 10 out of 10. Now, for how much time it requires, I'm gonna give this a 1, a solid 1, because you need to show up for your shift to get that paycheck, right? You can't make money in your sleep. And when you're working retail, it's not scalable, right? So we're gonna talk more about side hustles that are scalable and can actually make you money in your sleep, but we'll do that in just a minute. And then for the enjoyability category, this is gonna get a solid 5. In terms of whether this side hustle will be right for you or not, I think this will be right for you if you want something steady, but you're just not quite ready to start your own business. Side hustle number 6 on the list is waiting tables. Boy, I have waited a lot of tables, a lot. I waited at the Keg, I waited at local diners, you know what I mean? I was in it. So fun story, my friend, he has a coworker that makes $200,000 a year at Moxie's because she just kills it with tips. And I was like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah, I'm sure. Positive. And the best part is this woman, she just works 3 nights a week. So good for her. I mean, I can't say that was the case for me. I was probably making somewhere like $30,000 a year when I did wait tables. So yeah, but in terms of earning potential, you can make anywhere from $20,000 to $200,000. So for that reason, I'm gonna give this a solid 7 out of 10 because the earning potential is definitely there. Now, this is gonna get a 4 out of 10 because, man, it is hard work to wait tables. And then for specialized skill set, let's just give this a 7 out of 10 because you can definitely learn this on the job. Time commitment, easily a 1 out of 10. It's a very taxing job. And then in terms of enjoyability, I mean, it can be stressful, but it's also really great for people that do crave that social connection. So let's give this a 6 out of 10. If you really wanna make the most out of the side hustle, apply for positions in affluent neighborhoods if that is available to you. And also go for restaurants that have expensive food because the bigger the bill, the bigger the tip usually. Number 5 on my list is graphic design work. So with this side hustle, you can make social media content, you can make video content, you can do branding standards. Let me start off by telling you, I went to school for this and I worked in the field for a little bit, so I can definitely tell you how much I made. So just coming out of school as a junior graphic designer, I was making like 35 grand a year and it was rough at the beginning. Then as I got more senior, I started charging more. I was charging 40 bucks an hour all the way up to $100 an hour. So I would say there is earning potential there. So let's give this an 8 out of 10 stars in terms of earning potential. But I specifically don't do graphic design anymore because I personally just found it to be super unenjoyable. So I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 10 stars for that one. That's just my personal opinion. But let me tell you why, because what happened was I entered the field being like, I'm gonna make really cool art for businesses, right? Like as one would if they're getting into the creative field, but it just turned out to be zero creative. I was very much following the requests of stakeholders. I had very little autonomy. So I feel like all in all, this can be a great side hustle, but if creativity is really important for you, I would say this is not gonna be for you. Do I have any graphic designers watching this right now? Let me know in the comment section if you guys feel the same way about this creativity aspect. So in terms of skills required, you can learn this online, but it's gonna take you a little bit. It's gonna take you about 4 months to learn the programs. So let's give this a 5 out of 10. Difficulty, 7 out of 10. Because once you get the hang of it, you're just gonna fly through the work. Time commitment. So graphic design can be tedious. You can be working on revisions for days on end, weeks on end. So I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10. If the money sounds enticing, you like the idea of working remotely from anywhere in the world, and I haven't dissuaded you with all the negative things that I said, and you have a good eye for design, here is how to get started. You're gonna take a course on Udemy to get your skills right. You're gonna need to learn Photoshop, Premiere, and other programs. Next, you're gonna apply for jobs on Indeed or LinkedIn. Then you're gonna wanna get in touch with the recruiting agencies as well. I got work with DDB, Milwaukee Power Tools, Days in Hotels, like pretty big and reputable companies with the help of these recruiters. So I was using Creative Circle and Creative Niche, so definitely make sure that you're checking those out as well. Number 4 is being a landlord or an Airbnb host. It can be a passive way to make money. I'm currently renting out my apartment and it makes me $9,600 a year. It's not a lot, but I do have a friend, Drew. Hi, Drew. He rents his place out and he Airbnbs it. So you can still participate in this without actually having to own a home. So if you want to do this, make sure that you're checking with your landlord first to see if it's allowed. But yeah, guys, this one is going to get a 10 out of 10 stars all around because according to CNBC, the average Airbnb host will make $920 a month. That's about $11,000 a year. And actually, guys, I was just chit-chatting with Chris about this here, and he was saying how people that live in beach communities here in California will put their homes up on Airbnb during touristy seasons, live in a hotel for a few months, maybe live with their in-laws, and earn $30,000 in one summer, which is literally insane. So if you guys live in a desirable area, make sure that you're doing this. There is minimal skill and minimal time required for this. This is not difficult at all. But the one thing that I will say is that it can sometimes be like a little unenjoyable if you're dealing with a tenant who's not going to pay, or maybe you have an Airbnb customer that's complaining. So for enjoyability, I'm gonna give this like a 6 out of 10. But if you're looking to get started with this, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're listing your room, your home, even your living room on Airbnb, so you can start there. Or if you're looking for something that's more long-term, check out Craigslist because you're not gonna have the fees that Airbnb gives you. Or you can do what I did, which is reach out to a real estate agent. Some real estate agents are going to charge a percentage of the lease as their payment, which is really great because that means that they're only gonna get paid when you get paid and it requires no money up front from you. Number 3 on my list is being a consultant in whatever field you're in. So you can work your day job and then you can take on clients on evenings and weekends. So I actually do this currently. I help entrepreneurs optimize their e-commerce sites and their marketing plans. I charge $250 per session for solo entrepreneurs. So when I do 3 of these per month, I'll make an extra $9,000 a year. And when working with bigger businesses on larger projects, I'll charge $10,000 a month. So earning potential here is really great. You've got 10 out of 10 stars for this one. I would even say maybe like 11 out of 10, because if you're really highly specialized in your field, you can charge a boatload. Like let's say you're a cosmetic chemist, you can easily make $200,000 a year. So the sky's the limit with this side hustle. For skills required, the more of an expert that you are, the more that you can actually charge. So I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10 because it does require on-the-job experience or some sort of education. As a consultant, the nice thing is you can guide your clients with just your words, and that takes very little effort. So I would say for difficulty and time commitment, I'm gonna give this easily a 10 out of 10 stars. And the great thing is you don't have to work with anyone you don't like. If a client is being disrespectful or rude, you can fire them. You can choose to work with the most inspiring, interesting, and wonderful clients. So for this, I'm gonna easily give this a 10 out of 10 stars in terms of enjoyability. So how do you get started with this? You're gonna wanna make sure that you're making your services available on Fiverr or Upwork, or if you have credibility already, make sure that you're posting to your social accounts that you are offering one-on-one time. But make sure that you're posting about this a few times. I've realized that people kind of need to be like knocked over the head a few times before they actually start booking those sessions. Next on my list is being a freelancer. So this is kind of like a consultant where you work those contract jobs, but in this case, you're actually doing the work rather than just sharing your advice. So I'm gonna give this a very similar rating in all categories, except this one is gonna be a little bit more time consuming. So let's give this a 6 out of 10 in terms of time commitment. If you wanna start working as a freelancer in your field, make sure that you're posting on LinkedIn, make sure that you are posting that you are open to work, and start looking for those freelance positions, whether that's on Indeed or LinkedIn. And this is exactly how I landed KFC as a client. We made it. My favorite #1 side hustle is running an e-commerce store. Okay, so the reason I love this side hustle so much is that you can bring this baby to life, literally from just an idea that you had in your head one day to a product that's out in the world. Whether it's from the branding to the website to the product development, you get to be in complete control of what it is that you create. So easily 10 out of 10 for enjoyability. Learning the ropes through YouTube with a channel like this one here is also easy and super accessible, so 10 out of 10 for skill required and difficulty. You can dedicate as much or as little time as you want. You're your own boss and your earning potential is unlimited. So the use cases are endless. So let's take ButcherBox, for example. They reached 9 figures. 9, and that was without the help of investors. Another example is Cassie Ho, guys. She started a multi-million-dollar apparel brand using e-commerce. So the sky's the limit in terms of earning potential. I'm gonna give this an 11 out of 10. If you're interested in starting an online store, Shopify has a free trial. No credit card is required, which is actually pretty clutch, especially if you have a fear of commitment like me. And also, guys, if you're short on product ideas, there also is a free e-commerce course designed to get your store up and running very quickly. So let's say you have a low budget or you're a total beginner, you can make use of this. So if you're interested in either of those things, I will leave a link for you guys in the description box below. Have any of you guys tried these side hustles? And if you have, how do they turn out for you? I have side projects probably just because I was raised like that and it's kind of like in my personality. But what about you guys? Why are you guys looking for a side hustle? Are you guys maybe tired of relying on your 9-to-5 job? Maybe there's some other reason. Drop me your story down below. I would be curious to know. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you do want even more tips on how to run your business, from dropshipping content to running a business on Instagram, we got it all. So make sure that you're hitting subscribe. Peace, you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.